What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking the video. Sorry I didn't make a video Saturday like I said I was gonna. Ended up going to my kid's baseball game, and then afterwards he asked me to bring him canoe fishing. So we took out the canoe and did a little fishing. He caught one like 2 pound bass before it got dark. And then yesterday my oldest son graduated from his ROTC in Newport, Rhode Island. And he had a graduation ceremony. We spent the entire day there. He was dressed in his best and he and everyone else did an amazing job and came home dead tired. I made family for my dinner for my family, and I woke up this morning and continued compiling videos, looking at evidence, seeing what I could find, and mostly it's hard to find new videos at this point. I did find one that showed the actual shooting, and it's very graphic. So this is going to be graphic warning. This is the most graphic video I've found so far. Surprised that it was even able to be played on YouTube. Hopefully YouTube will let me play this video. So when you get to that, just a warning, it's actually way more bloody than I had ever thought or seen. So if you've seen this one already, maybe link a copy of which one you found it in. If you haven't seen this, maybe share and spread it. Hopefully, to me, clears up a little bit more. And I think I'm back to thinking he was shot. But we're going to look at a few angles here. And again, I'm very sorry for the gruesome. I'm very sorry for Charlie Kirk's kids. And as of right now, while she is innocent, I'm extremely sorry for his widow. This has to be all really tough to deal with seeing this stuff online, especially when they get older and they're going to, at some point, they're going to see a video of their father getting assassinated. So when we talk about this, I know some people get excited and they see him smiling and whatnot. I don't take offense to that. I just picture it like we're not excited about Charlie Kirk's murder. That's awful. But we do get excited about digging into evidence and finding new things, talking with the community, um, hopefully taking down the system, whether it's the elites, the FBI, if Israel is just literally has their hands on everything. If we live in a simulation and they just have to tap a code, whatever it is, we're just all trying to figure it out together, and parts of that are exciting. So if you see someone making a video and they are excited, give them the benefit of the doubt. They're not excited about the actual tragedy, but just getting to the bottom of things. Um, so let's take a look at these videos and I'll give you a few thoughts. Once again, everybody, thank you for clicking that button. Click subscribe and let's see if we can share and eventually make change in this world because God knows this world needs major change. All right, we're going to take a look at what I have here. Right now, I just have before the shooting. You can see some of the sketchy guys, the guy there in the bald hair. You can see the guy over here in the sunglasses. And you can see the guy to his left is the guy who pushed him over, all black under the tent. And then to the right, there's two more people of interest. And then to the left, eventually of that tent, you'll see a girl wearing a red hat, and she looks like a MAGA supporter. She's going to be a person of concern as well. Right now, though, you see all these sketchy people. And, dude, just right now, if that bald guy wearing the sunglasses, dude, he looks like a killer. And I know this is a security team, but this dude looks like he is here to rip your heart out. I don't trust that guy at all. The guy in the black left of Charlie, it looks like he pushed him over. I don't trust that at all. I don't know why he would run over there. He didn't grab him and let him down. He literally pushed him over out of his chair behind the table where we couldn't see anything. And I get to the point right here. It looks like we're gonna watch some hand signals.
All right, so there's
It doesn't
literally
make any
like
sense.
15,
You see
20
multiple
different
hand signals.
sketchy looking people in the crowd.
Bad job
There's
compiling
2 to
that.
3, 4 different young girls that look super
Quick.
sketchy. There's a guy who they think maybe shot using a little
Recording quick,
handgun.
'cause
You're
I
gonna
did a
see in a
shit job
minute.
with my
After that, you're also gonna see um, a few different sketchy peoples, including his security detail, a man in the crowd, a man with glasses in the crowd. Right before that, someone they said used a detonator, someone they said used a little handgun, and there's even a guy who looks like maybe shot under his elbow. There are literally fucking sketchy looking motherfuckers everywhere. You guys, please dig through my video, dig through everyone's videos, slow them down, different angles. Together, I'm sure we can figure this out. I'm going to run through a few videos on YouTube showing what they think might have happened. And at the very end, I'm going to give you my new analysis. The next thing you're going to see, though, is the gruesome shooting. I'm going to show this now. So, because for me, it was new evidence. And if you haven't seen this, it should show you something new, which should open up your mind to something new. And then I'm going to run through a few different scenarios. I'm going to touch my opinion on the end. Please hit subscribe, hit share. These videos take an insane amount of time to make, and we are all trying to get to the bottom of this. The more we share, the more people see different people's opinions, the closer we get as we eliminate the the garbage. Thanks again, everybody.
Not counting gang violence. Great. Not counting gang violence. Great.
We have a couple of theories to give you today about the Charlie Kirk one. So this one is that this guy here had what they call a palm gun. So I don't know if you've ever seen a palm gun. They're circular and it's got a little, and it fits in your palm. That's why I call it a palm gun. So a lot of people are saying this guy had a palm gun. So let's watch.
In America over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence? Great. Great.
So did you see him? He went to pull up his sleeve, and that's exactly when you hear the, okay.
Great. Great. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Oh, that really looked like at that time. You know, there's probably 2 or 3 people in the crowd that have a gun.
Hang on.
Oh!
And then they say that you could see. So it looks like he's pretending to pull up his sleeve and he has a palm gun. That's what it looks like. And there's the bullet. That's what they're saying. Again, I cannot verify the veracity of these claims. I'm just showing you these are the theories that are out there. So here he is right here, standing right there. That's his sleeve already rolled up to his bicep, and he feels a need to roll it up even more, which is suspicious. And this is what the gun looks like. Oh.
This is your assassin right here, guys.
So do you see that? So what?
Assassin right here, guys.
So it looks like that little scope thing is coming in between these 2 fingers right here. That's what it looks like. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying this is a theory. And then he goes to pull up his sleeve, which is already pulled up past his bicep at the exact time Charlie Kirk gets shot.
Right here. It's unbelievable that people can watch this and say, no, you're just delusional, or no, you snorted cocaine, or...
So do you see
Who
this?
Who is this guy?
You're just...
So that looks... No, a lot of people are saying that looks like he's got a palm gun. That's what's... I'm not saying he does. I'm saying that's what people are saying.
Just stupid. Like, you can't see what I'm seeing? That is a palm gun. Now, you may not know what a palm gun is, but that is a palm gun. Look it up. That is a palm gun. You can see him squeeze it. You can recoil. Boom! And Charlie Kirk is dead. That is a palm gun. Boom! Charlie Kirk is dead.
So, that's compelling. It's compelling video.
What about the other bullet video we watched last time?
So
That would look like it was behind him.
the one that, well, according to Candace Owen, there was no hole. She saw a video that nobody else has seen from the back, and she said there was no exit wound or entry wound in the back. So, and a lot of people are saying that that blood splatter was actually his earpiece that came off. We're going to get to that.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know how these work.
So
there's always 3 or 4 people in the crowd that have guns that are doing something.
Yes.
Hip hop assassinations work the same way. They have somebody shoot guns off in the distance, everybody freaks out, and the real killer's right next to you. That's the thing they do in rap, all the way up to presidents, all the way to Charlie Kirk.
So Trinity says, don't forget this one. And then there's the man in the khaki green shirt that looks like he tucked something under his arm. Regardless, nobody is buying the official story. At 30-6 would have removed his entire head. So they're saying that this guy has a gun under his arm. This one is, I think, less credible.
In America over the last 10 years.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great. In
So,
America
so they're saying
over
that
the
this
last
guy
10
has a
years.
gun under his
Counting or not
armpit.
counting gang violence?
Great.
So
Oh.
I don't. That's hard to believe. First of all, he's not. They say that well, he could have in his glasses. They have these kind of devices that has a camera, so he can see in his glasses where he's pointing. That's what some people have said. Again, I can't. I'm not saying I'm saying this. I'm saying that's what people are saying. So these are two different theories. So those are two different theories. The palm gun one. I think it has some legs. I think this one has some legs.
Gang violence.
This is your assassin right here, guys. Right here. It's unbelievable that people can watch this and say, no, you're just delusional. Or, no, you snorted cocaine. Or, you're just stupid. Like, you can't see what I'm seeing. That is a palm gun.
So that is pretty compelling.
Who accused him of snorting cocaine when he showed this video? People say, you're snorting cocaine. Wouldn't that make you more alert to the palm gun?
So it's a palm gun. And
We know it's not what they told us.
And we're going to
We-
insert. So insert. I want you to insert and post what a palm gun looks like right now. So show the palm gun, insert it, so we can get a picture of that online. What a palm gun. It's unfortunate it's not in here. What a palm gun looks like. We'll put it in post. Okay, and we have actually there's one more theory that I think is actually more credible, the most credible theory. Like these are compelling. I don't know if they're credible. I don't know if they're true, but there's one more theory, and I'm going to show it to you next. But before I do, come see me in Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, and San Francisco, and Sydney, Melbourne, and Bridge. It's not new, but I think they stopped making them like 4 or 5 years ago. But they made these things called cell phone guns. It looked like a cell phone, but it was a gun. So watch this.
I have it.
Counting gang violence?
Great.
So do you see him pull? So he pulls the gun out, and he pulls out his cell phone, and he does this with, he has it with 2 hands, and he does this twice. Like, what is that? So let's watch it again.
In America over the last 10 years.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
So you saw that, right?
Yeah, it's a weird motion.
So that's pretty compelling. So let's watch this again.
In America over the last 10 years.
Counting or not?
So there he is. He pulls his cell phone out. He's got it with both hands, and then he does this.
Counting gang violence?
Great.
It's almost simultaneous. So that's why some people are saying that this guy was the shooter. Now, Kurt says they have, on an operation like this, they're going to have multiple shooters. They have certainly
Sirhan.
and they had
The
that guy who
yeah.
looked. They had that.
Fires the round and murders Charlie Kirk. Let's take a look at this. Well, we take a look at it full speed here again. Take a look so now that you know what to look for.
Or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Boom. He just murdered Charlie Kirk. That man just murdered Charlie Kirk. So let's take a look, guys. He's staring down into nothingness. His left arm is slightly bent. He's now going to get ready to straighten that left arm. And if you notice that when he straightens that left arm, he also turns to look at Charlie for the very first time. At the same time, that arm goes straight. He turns to acquire the target with his eyes. You notice he's starting to turn towards Charlie, somewhat with a kind of an evil grin on his face as well. And then you see the fist. You see that closed fist right there? That closed fist contains what's called a palm pistol or something similar. It's a device that fires a projectile.
So that's what a palm pistol looks like right there. Can you see that? Circular, looks like a big watch, and then it's got a barrel right here. And then
Like a zip gun.
And then the trigger is right there. Is that what they call a zip gun?
Well, it's like a gun, like a homemade gun that you
Okay.
make. But that's a sophisticated one.
So this is very sophisticated. So here's the trigger. This
like
is
a little Derringer, but
this is the gun,
yeah.
and then that's the. Okay, ready? So that's what he said. That's what he's saying is happening.
palm pistol is going to fire the projectile, I'm assuming towards center mass. Now, it may have hit him directly in the neck, or as he was aiming towards center mass, it apparently may have struck the man's, Charlie Kirk, the cross hanging off his neck, and ricocheted up into his neck. Now, that would make sense, as we did see his shirt bounce upward in front of his face before we saw the wound. Now, apparently, as the bullet ricocheted upwards towards the neck, if it struck the cross also apparently shot downwards between Charlie's legs. So the cross went that way, the bullet went that way. That is the theory. Either way, that's neither here nor there. He was probably aiming for center mass, which would be here. He may have misjudged and it hit him directly in the neck, or more than likely what appears to have happened, it hit the cross, the metal cross on Charlie's neck, ricocheted into the neck while the
Tyler Robinson didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's Israeli security detail killed Charlie Kirk. That is the explosion from Charlie Kirk's lavalier lapel mic. Want to see it again? Bring it in closer. Remember when we told you that that was absolutely an exit wound? Yeah, it is. Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel mic. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath Charlie Kirk's white t-shirt up through his neck and created the exit wound that we told you was an exit wound immediately when we saw that exit wound. First we had exploding pagers, now we have exploding mics. Do you remember the vector analysis from John Bray? That proves that all of the activity came from the mic that Charlie Kirk was wearing. Remember the palm gun guy in the brown shirt, that shadowy looking guy with the sunglasses? Yeah, he pushes the detonator. Clear as day.
Counting gang violence. Great.
They can't see it well at first. The last one of these, crystal clear that his device moves. You'll see it right here.
That's the assassin.
I literally cannot believe the collective power of the internet when everyone is focused in the one direction. I realize like there's a lot more to this, and I don't want to derail it. I'm sure you guys are captivated by this because there's a lot more coming, but I need to pause it right here and say the following. The internet has changed the world in ways that, I mean, now we kind of take for granted, but in things like this, okay, in things like this, everyone gets video, everyone's taking videos. Everyone is always taking videos. You do something public like this where there's going to be a lot of videos, and then you put it all out there and you let the world, all the smartest people in the world, you know how many people would have been incredible FBI agents or incredible investigators if they would have grown up in a different environment, if their parents would have been different, or if they would have had parents or whatever. This situation, this kind of situation enables anyone to just decide, I'm going to see what I can find. And then you reach out to people like Candace or me or whoever, and these exclusive things go out, and then all the rest of us get to collectively analyze, and then the rest of you guys get to go and investigate off of that. You give me the FBI, I double raise you the collective internet, all of us together.
That's the guy that pushes the detonator, which perfectly aligns with the explosion that pushes that projectile through Charlie's right side of his neck and out the left side, creating the exit wound.
This is the part where I got sold. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Okay. So pay real close attention right here. This is where I got sold, where I was like, oh my God, this is it.
It just looked like the chaos that you would expect after someone was publicly executed in broad daylight in front of 3,000 people. But in no way did that trigger man, that assassin in the brown shirt with the sunglasses, act alone. We have video now that shows the handoff of this remote detonator.
And let me pause it right here just to say this. They're saying remote detonator. I'm saying not remote detonator. That's the thing that they're getting wrong right here, or whoever made this video is getting wrong. I think Stu Peters is reacting to a different video. What they were grabbing would be the device that either detonated or whatever caused the explosion or whatever that killed Charlie. That device needs to get recovered. That's the only physical evidence that would be able to prove this. And they take something off of him and they start changing hands, and it goes in one pocket, then another pocket, then another pocket, and then they just run off.
But there was no shooter. Tyler Robinson did not kill Charlie Kirk.
All right, now here is another video that captured the handoff, and it does an even better job. And this one is saying they think that the bullet hit the squib, and that's why they're pulling it off. But this is obviously before someone had connected that it could have been a remote device that went off. So watch this. Okay.
As he grabs the squib off of Charlie, puts it in his pocket. Watch closely. The one guy grabs the squib, gives it to the guy with the polo. He puts it in his pocket. Now the other guy that I once said, press the remote for the squib, takes the remote, puts it in the other guy's pocket, and he takes off. So the first guy gets the squib that was on the neck. Watch closely. So, boom, shot. There's a guy with the blue, puts it in his pocket. Here's the guy with the remote, puts it in his pocket. And scene.
Now, while that is extraordinarily compelling evidence, we have a lot of other questions to answer. How would a state actor have so successfully framed far-left radicals for this crime? Why is Tyler Robinson in prison? Why did the roommate say all of the things that he said? Where did those text messages come from? Where did the Discord confession come from? Who are the other people that were in the crowd? Okay. And if the shot came from Charlie's neck, why are people saying that they heard it in other places? And potentially most importantly, why did they say that a 30-06 round got caught in Charlie's neck, which everyone knows is impossible? And anyone who was involved in the 30-06 story, why? Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
In Utah, where this event all took place. One thing I want to mention, as you already saw in the back, the SUV that hauled him away, as you can see here, preparing, backing up. Here you see it coming into play once again. And early into the presentation, in front of the audience, with Charlie Kirk, we all know what takes place. But I really want to focus on the staging area in the back once again. Let's take a look. One last time as Charlie Kirk makes his way. The SUV, the Wagoneer pulling up and backing up to serve its purpose, as you see there. Now, let's take a look here. Charlie Kirk getting prepared for his presentation under the canopy. And I pointed this out before with the 47 hats, 4 and 7s, 11. You get your 33, 11, 11, 11. But nonetheless, take a look here. Charlie Kirk and the man here prepping Charlie for what's to take place. He's the one that's positioning what's under his shirt right here. Take a look. As I move the cursor slowly, he's preparing Charlie Kirk for what's to take place. He pats him on the side there. You can see the guy here wearing the 1776 hat. And there you go. That's the individual preparing once again Charlie Kirk. And this is a big-time player with this whole entire event. It's this guy here. The sunglasses guy, I'll call him. With the gray shirt, black pants, and black shoes. And we'll move this cursor forward, and that's what this video is mainly about, this individual. Now let's take a look here, as we all seen, or should have seen by now, as he's under the canopy after the fact. and he grabs Charlie Kirk's chair after it supposedly took place. Again, I mentioned this before, no police tape, no real police presence whatsoever. And for those that have watched the live stream from the university itself, it was 5 minutes and 20 seconds after what supposedly took place with Charlie Kirk and the camera being in this position. So this wasn't like it was way after the fact and the police were already here. They're already at the scene. They had the police tape up. No, this is only just a little bit over 5 minutes until we get to this point. But again, the important aspect here is this individual. The guy with the sunglasses, beige shirt, black pants, and black shoes. As he looks at the man with the camera, pointing right at him. Once again, he gets on Charlie Kirk's chair after it supposedly took place. Again, this is evidence tampering with the so-called version of the story. He steps on there and takes down the camera, the SD card to be precise. And then there you go. But nonetheless, let's move forward here with this individual. Let's take a look here. A little bit of a close-up now. Let's look here at this footage. This is Charlie Kirk at the very beginning of the presentation. And who do you see here in the back? First off, this is Frank Turek not wearing his hat before he puts his hat on, and he positions himself on the other side of the canopy. But here's Sunglasses Man right here. You're going to get a clear shot of him as he turns around. Again, Frank Turek. And you're going to see Sunglasses Man, who is really close, supposedly, with Charlie Kirk. And there he is right here. This is the guy. This is the focal point of this video. There's more to present, but really it's about this individual here. Once again, as you're going to get a good view of him. This is obviously the same guy, like I mentioned, that took down the camera. And there he is. Sunglasses Man. Really want to emphasize the beige shirt, the black pants, and the black shoes as we move forward. Now take a look here at the next image I want to show. Of course, Charlie Kirk, Sunglasses Man in the back. Let's get a little bit of a close-up of him right here. And there he is looking forward, looking on with Charlie Kirk in the foreground. A little bit more of a close-up. Now let's get to the part of the video with Sunglasses Man present once again. And this is right after what went down with Charlie Kirk. And then you get a little bit of a close-up. He has his arms folded. Now take a look here. Get a little bit more of a close-up. Now watch this. And here you see him. Sunglasses Man and the Mr. Muscles right here, as I showed in my previous video, as he basically body slams Charlie Kirk to the ground. I understand someone will say, oh, that's for his safety. No, this is part of it. All part of it. And look at, again, Sunglasses Man, as he makes his way without hesitation to the back. Zero hesitation. He heads straight to the back. And why is that? Why is he going to the back without any hesitation whatsoever? Okay, take a look. He makes his way to the back. All this action. I'll present this in another video. Get into this later on. But let's get to the point here. Again, with Sunglasses Man. One last time. Without hesitation, after everything goes down, you're going to see him run straight to the back. Getting into position. What position? I'll show that right now. And that cuts to the back scene here that I've shown. And I'll play it, and then we'll get right to it. And that's right here. There's Sunglasses Man. Again, the beige shirt, the black pants, and the black shoes. Positioned to film all this was taking place in the back. Make no mistake about it. That's why he sprinted to go to the back to get all the footage from this perspective. There was no hesitation running back here. And you're going to see him leaning against the wall to record everything that's taking place in the back area. There he is, leaning against the wall there. And this is 100% him. And he knew what he needed to do right after what supposedly went down with Charlie Kirk. Get to the back, get on top of this platformed rocky area to cover all the footage. Make no mistake about it. It's number 47 woman right here. You're going to get another vantage point, and there he is. Again, I have to emphasize, without a shot of a doubt, that is him. A little bit of a close-up we're going to get to. And just another shot of Sunglasses Man. A little bit of a closer look as he's standing. It looks like I said in my very first video on the topic with Charlie Kirk 2 weeks ago, I mentioned it appears he has one hand in his pocket while holding his phone, recording everything. Okay, let's take a little bit of a closer look here. Now he's like leaning against the wall like I mentioned earlier. And there you go, all the chaos. And go around one last time here, and there he is. Position right there. Again, now let's take a look here with another individual on the other side from Sunglasses Man filming it all as well. Getting the higher angle. And there he is. You can, as I zoom in into Charlie Kirk, there is Sunglasses Man right there. All in position. That's why he ran from the staging area in the front by the canopy to get in that exact position, of course. And there you go. And there is also Frank Turek, who I mentioned in my second video on the topic, how all these individuals are hauling away Charlie Kirk. And how did Frank Turek get here so quickly in the backstaging area with the SUV? Okay, I'm going to show that as well as we move forward. Now let's take a look at this angle with Frank Turek. There's more to mention with this scene here, but let's focus on Frank Turek first. After this all goes down, you'll understand how and why he was in the back area so quickly. Let's take a look here as everything goes down with Charlie Kirk right here. Let's take a look at what we see. Without hesitation, you're going to see Frank Turek take a look, then move towards the scene, then get right back up, and he starts running. And where's he running to? And that's obviously to the back staging area. That's how he got back there so quickly. And the rest of Charlie Kirk's people, his team, they're the ones that obviously, like I shown earlier in this scene, they move him into the vehicle as you see here. And again, Frank Turek making his way around right here. Let's get a little bit of a better shot of that. Once again, as you see Charlie Kirk and his entourage, I'll call them, hauling him away. And Frank Turek's already there. Like I mentioned, that's because he made a dash in the back right away as the director. And there he goes swinging around. Now, I want to point out as well, let's take a look at this very opening scene, as I shown before, with this angle. Frank Turek's all the way left here, but this one female, let's take a look at what she does here right before everything goes down with Charlie Kirk. They zoom in on her. You see Charlie Kirk, Frank Turek right there. Now let's take a look at the female. As you're going to see her go right by here. Kind of casual look. I don't want to say, but almost a smirk on her face. Very casual as this is all going down. Take a look here. Let's play this slowly as she walks by. This has really gone under the radar. Like very casual walking past the scene while this is all going down. This is very relevant with everybody that's involved here. Again, there's Frank Turek on the ground there, looking as she's making her way out of the scene. Now take a look here. Here she is, facing the crowd. This is obviously Frank Turek once again. Now watch this. as she turns around and looks towards Charlie Kirk right before this all goes down. And there's Charlie Kirk, and there's Muscle Man with the hand signals. And watch this. She just casually walks away while this all takes place. And again, Frank Turek, as you see here, he goes to the ground and she just goes off scene like nothing. Kind of very casual, but she was looking towards the crowd, and then automatically, as this all goes down, she just walks away very, very casually. No running, just kind of just walking away. And I'm going to show something else here. And that's this individual right here. Might be a little bit hard to see, but she plays a role, as I shown in my second video, in the backstaging area, the parking lot. Let's take a look here. And she's walking by. Here she is. A little bit of a close-up momentarily, but let's just play this video a little bit more slowly. And all the individuals in the back, I'm going to get a close-up here, and you can see them after this all goes down. And again, here is the female with the red hat, Frank Turek. These individuals with cameras. Take a look here. You're going to see that female that I was pointing to earlier that's going to appear over here momentarily. And she's getting, and there she is. And she's going to get into position as well. And where's she going? I'll show that right now. Let's get to it. And as I shown initially on Rumble, and again, there is Sunglasses Man in the back, but here she is. She made her way to the back as well. She's right here. Let's get a little bit of a close-up as I move the cursor over with the close-up of that female that we saw running in the background behind the canopy. And there she is, positioned, like I mentioned before, pointing the camera in this direction. Not at Charlie Kirk in his white shoes. And the female here telling her, let's get out of here, like I mentioned in my second video on the topic. Covers her mouth and says, let's go. Time to go. And she follows her. And there you go. Now, a very important aspect with three individuals from Charlie Kirk's crew, as you see here, this one individual here, the bald-headed man, and the one I call Sunglasses Man. All three of these individuals' job is to get to the back as soon as possible after this all goes down. Let's get right to it. I'm going to play it in slow motion so you can really see what's taking place. Now watch here as this guy here, he jumps over the table. Play it very slowly. And there again is Muscle Man over here pushing, body slamming Charlie Kirk to the ground. Where I said in my previous video, he should be holding him and bringing him down, not body slamming him. Bring him down, wrapping his arms around him and bring him down securely. Now let's move forward on these other individuals. Again, very important to point out, as this guy here, watch as he again jumps the table. Does not help out Charlie Kirk in any way. What's the purpose of his anxiousness of jumping the table, not attending to Charlie Kirk at all, basically jumping on top or right over Charlie Kirk, could be stepping on him there to get past him. It wasn't about getting to Charlie Kirk in this situation. Let's move this forward here. And once again, a little bit of a close-up of the same. Charlie Kirk on the ground as he jumps over the table, makes his way down, and then basically stepping on where Charlie Kirk is positioned. And now watch what he does. Again, nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. He jumped over the table not to attend to Charlie Kirk. He just went in his back pocket for something, for some reason. Let me back that up. You're going to see that. First off, he reaches on the table here. And he grabs something. And then you see him put something in his back pocket. Could be his front, back pocket, but definitely one of the pockets. He's putting something in there from the table. And then he moves over this position with this individual, which I'll show later on. We've seen him earlier, but nonetheless, these two are interacting, exchanging something in their hands. What is that? They're exchanging before they head to the back. There they go, spraying to the back area. Well, the man here, we've seen before, like I said, getting that little bit later. There we get, again, it's like table surfing. Right where Charlie Kirk is positioned, but does not help him. It's not there to help him. Again, something on the table there. And then watch as he puts something in his back pocket. Right there. With his hand there. And then this guy here, the bald-headed guy, he's on the ground here. And he's picking up something off the ground. Take a look. He picks it up and he runs off. And we're going to see exactly where momentarily. But again, these two, this guy, I'll just say it right now, he was behind the rail with the sunglasses. Now he made his way over here, jumping the rail with this guy with the plaid shirt as well. And they do some type of exchange here. I know it's rather hard to see, but they're exchanging something here. Again, you would think they would be tending to Charlie Kirk, but they're too busy messing around with what? Just guess what they are doing. I'm going to move this up a little bit more. And you're going to see an exchange here, very slowly between the two. For the guy in the plaid shirt, they're both wearing plaid. There's a different color plaid. This one with a lighter color plaid goes to the back with the bald-headed man. Very relevant here. And this guy goes down. I'm sure everybody can recognize him now. He was the one by the rail. And it's this guy right here. We all seen him right before he jumps the guard rail. As the other guy with the lighter colored plaid shirt moves to the back. And here's another angle here of the bald-headed man as he turns around. And the first thing he does, he basically dives towards on the ground right here. You see him almost like a belly flop, but that's him. Go back here all the way. You can see him. Turn around. He goes around the canopy. Then he goes to the ground to pick something up off the ground. And there you see him right there. He's on the ground right there getting something. He stands up. He puts it in his pocket. Then he runs. He sprints to the back. I mean, these people are doing everything so calculated, without hesitation, without thought. And the direction they're heading is to the back. How coordinated everything is. Another angle, a little bit of a close-up of a bald-headed man as he goes to the ground and runs to the back. It's very important. Bald-headed man over here, the guy with the lighter color plaid shirt, he's right there as well. Now look at this as I move the cursor over. They're heading to the back. And where are they headed to? Of course, the SUV. And as the driver, as in the shotgun position, no pun intended. And here's Charlie Kirk with his white shoes. Again, the female with the camera pointing this way. And the other one telling her, let's get out of here as well. They're there, a little bit of a close-up. How well coordinated they are. And again, as I shown earlier, with Charlie Kirk first appearing on the scene, and you see the SUV, the black SUV, in the back, pulling up, backing up in the back parking lot staging area.
John.
I'm just going to put this right at the front so you guys know what the punchline is, okay? So part of what we were looking at throughout this video is a very, very long post by someone who did a vector mapping analysis, and their conclusion was that this was an explosion underneath his shirt versus a bullet strike, okay? And this is just a guy. Now, he sounds extremely credible in the post, but listen, like I went through this video kind of before I had seen what I'm going to show you in a second, saying there is one big gaping problem in the theory that it's an explosion under a shirt. I will wait and have you guys look at that and you guys can respond to it yourselves. But when I saw this, okay, I did not know this level of, scrutiny had gone into it. Like they ran it through Grok AI and asked what the video shows as it relates to whether it's an explosion or a 30-06 bullet strike. And Grok says the radio patterns, assuming that's what you meant in this video, show omnidirectional energy spread more consistent with an explosion shockwave than a linear 30-06 bullet trajectory based on forensic imaging analysis. Official reports confirm a sniper bullet to the neck. Raw footage and independent forensics are needed for certainty. So basically you have video that is being analyzed for vectors that you are with energy spread, and the AI is validating what this guy says, which is that this was an explosion, not a bullet. Okay, so at least just so you know, as we go through this video, the punchline is going to be that there's a lot more to his theory. He says there's no bullet. Like that's the actual one of the purposes of his entire analysis was he's like, there's no bullet. Like I did this, like I can capture energy spread with the tools that I have. There's no bullet. So I will let you guys see all of that and more, because we got other stuff to go over, because we also got the full breakdown of what the official story from TPUSA is of why there was no exit wound. And it's interesting. So I apologize. It's a long intro, but I just wanted to make sure that you didn't go through 25 minutes listening to me completely try to invalidate this theory if like this changes things in a big way. So I wanted you guys to have that information going in. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. Lots to talk about. Okay. So we have a bunch of information coming out that I will go through in a second, but a lot of it actually has to do with the remote detonation like theory or whatever, because there's a guy who does this huge report, which I'll show you in a second, that supports that. But I am going to tell you in this video that there is a major flaw in the Israeli remote bomb theory that basically when I thought about it and really like put it in my brain, I think it invalidates the entire thing. Okay. I think, right? So I'll throw it out to you guys exactly what I'm talking about and where I pulled it from. And then you guys can tell me what you guys think. We're going to talk about the autopsy. The report that there was no autopsy contradicted by a report that came out afterwards. And I think the most interesting thing that came out of this was Alex Jones apparently spoke to the gentleman who said that they found the bullet inside of Charlie, the Superman bones or whatever, the Man of Steel bones. So he actually explained to Alex what their story is about, what happened with the bullet and how it was possible that a 30-06 was stopped in the body. It's actually pretty interesting. I mean, it's like, I'm not necessarily like, okay, but it at least makes more sense than just like, it, just went in the neck and just stopped, So we're going to look at that. And we're also going to look at this report right here. Okay. So this is a guy who did just to read this. Okay. So he did an analysis of the videos, and he is saying there is no bullet in any of the footage. Okay. This quote, this isn't sloppy journalism. It's forensic grade pixel forensics screaming that the quote bullet stopped by the steel-like bones narrative is a fairy tale. Yada, yada. Anyway, so he gets into really, really heavy detail with why he's saying that. And then if we have time, I wanted to show you guys this. Now, some people talked about this the other day and I never looked at it. And now that I have, I need to show this to you guys because this is crazy. There's a discrepancy between the video feed from Tyler Robinson's court appearance and another one. So the one that went out to everybody, the video and audio are completely mismatched versus the one that was seen originally, like only on local news. And it's so subtle. But what they did with this video when they mismatched the audio, I mean, somebody changed it, right? Somebody took the audio and the video and moved where his reaction looks like now. It was to a different part of what the judge was saying, a very notable part. And clearly someone did that, and someone did that on purpose. And so it's so subtle, though, that you're like, I liked his. Okay, so let's listen to what Alex Jones was told about this.
To get those exclusive details, let me go ahead and share that with you guys now, and then I will react to it.
I got a call last night from Jack Posobiec, and he says, yeah, we see your viral post from an hour ago where you're quoting the TPUSA spokesperson, who, by the way, is a big fan of yours. You know, you've met him, you've hung out with him, had dinner with him, Andrew Colvin, where he's quoting the surgeon that attended to Charlie when he was brought in. And he didn't want to give the details out, so I understand how it looks a little weird that the bullet didn't go through. You need to call him. So I call him, and he goes, listen, I don't want to give the details out. I said, well, I can't help it if I'm explaining. He goes, okay, fine, but it's really gruesome. And he said that...
By the way, keep in mind, I'm going to share what Alex Jones had to say, what Turning Point USA has to say. He's now going to explain what the surgeon who worked on Charlie Kirk and his destroyed body and neck had to say. I'm also going to tell you what Erica Kirk had to say after seeing her husband's body.
Again, he's being shot from down an angle. It hits the spine and then bounces down, which is what it's going down. And then it hits, it deflects with its velocity, goes back into the spine, blows out 6 vertebrae. The bullet then shatters. That's what they do. I've shot wild hog straight on. This has happened, and deer, and then exploded into the heart, and fragments shot up. So he oversimplified when he said, oh, then they found the bullet up in the shoulder by the neck. No, it was fragments. And I'm sitting there listening to this in the car, and I'm like, yeah, usually I shoot a deer or hog, you know, in the shoulder if you got a clear shot, but in the woods, you only get a front shot, I do it. You hit him in the front, I mean, it'll go in, back out the side, out the front. I mean, it does wild stuff. So I'm not, you know, saying this is absolutely the perfect answer to all of this, but I talked to FBI ballistics experts. They said yes, and I've seen it myself, so that made a lot more sense. So it didn't go through because, oh, yeah, think about it. It's coming down at a major angle, then hits the bone and ricochets down. And I've seen that happen many times where you go into the front of a mammal, and that's what he was, a great man, and then it bounces around. And when I first saw the report, because he was explaining what the surgeon said without giving me all the details, I said,
so what we have here is...
But I've actually shot hogs in one case. I've shot a lot of them. It's their feral. They want you to get rid of them, and they eat the baby deer and just destroy everything.
Okay, let me just make sure that people are understanding this. So we all see the bullet hole, and we're expecting what happens. The backside is, 6 times bigger than the front, right? But because it was an upward angle and Charlie Kirk is still in the process of leaning backwards, it hits and it goes into his spinal cord, and it literally takes out 6 layers of his spine. Boom, 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 boom. And then it hit his heart, and the heart explodes, pushing the now exploded bullet up into his shoulder. But it's fragmented. It's not just like the magic JFK bullet that has a little tiny dent in it. This bullet is shredded into his shoulder, right? So it takes out 6 layers of vertebrae, the heart. This is also why you didn't see blood squirting to the beat of his heart. You saw a massive gush come out onto his shirt and his shoulder. I told you guys this was graphic, so I hope this isn't too much for anybody. So that's what's going on. So there is no exit wound. There's no blood splatter. There's no blood mist. There's nothing on the banner, and there's no bullet hole. Let's keep.
All right. I know it's been a long video. If you guys are still with me, I appreciate it. I think we've seen a lot of stuff here. I think there's a lot to digest, a lot to think about. I'm going to give my final thoughts right now. And I am still thinking right now that he got shot in the back of the head. And that was the exit wound right here. I believe if it was a mic bomb, something in his shirt, we'd have seen blood through the shirt. I believe we'd have seen a hole in the shirt, an explosive mark,
a scorch, anything. You hit a cigarette to a white t-shirt, it burns through in a second. So I don't think it was something remote. That being said, I don't know why everyone ran over to him and started taking stuff, giving it to each other, and running behind the scenes. That doesn't make sense to me at all. And that's the only thing that leads me to believe it might have been some type of device. But potentially, maybe it was like a camera. I don't know. I'm talking out my ass here, but potentially maybe it was a camera or some other piece of equipment that let them zero in a gun, a remote gun. I don't know if this type of technology is possible. I'm just spitting out ideas because I don't see much that makes sense. You look at his white t-shirt and you're seeing it on the screen. I think if it was any type of remote device, you're going to see blood on his shirt. When you watch behind him, it's basically all white, right? Like it's a white background behind him. Nobody was really covered in blood. You see in the video, there's one little spot of blood. I don't really know what to think. I'm going to digest all the people in the crowd that look sketchy. I'm going to watch some more videos. I might do some research into some little handheld guns. We're not going to find out technology that's out there, but there was a lot to digest in this video. I know I made it, but I'm still digesting what I put together and what other people have put together that I've seen. I'm still trying to make sense of all this. I don't believe the main narrative. I do not believe it was a 30-06 for one. I don't believe it's possible that that bullet strikes him and doesn't do some type of damage, go through him, blow the table in half. You saw the type of damage it can do. Knowing firsthand, I actually have a 300 Win Mag. It's an even larger caliber, not by much, slightly. I know firsthand what type of damage these guns can do. I'm thinking he got shot in the back of the head. There's a whole bunch of sketchy people all around. You're going to have to track their movements. Hopefully people out there who have more free time than me can try to track their movements from one camera to another. It is hard enough for me just to keep track of the film I have, and then my computer gets full and I got to delete stuff off. So at this point, with my kids, I don't have time to digest everything like I wish I could. I try to slow down the video and then zoom in, and it's amazing the type of stuff you can pick up on. But in 3 different Jesse on Fire videos, he had 3 different opinions of what happened literally in a matter of 2 days. He definitely got shot in the front, video evidence, period. Next day, oh my God, look what happened. It was a remote detonator. That's it. So like, then the next day he's got a new theory and a new theory. And I get it. There's a lot to digest and a lot of people out there thinking they've come up with evidence. I'm not sure. Oh, the other one he had, was the guy in the glasses, a remote detonator by him. So there's obviously, just in this one video I've made right here, tons of different theories, not much for actual evidence. I believe that's an exit hole, though. There are a few other things that could explain it. Potentially someone said he got shot in the cross and the cross swung into his neck. I think if anything like that happened, we would see it in the videos, though. I know they're quick, but there's so many different angles. I know that what looked like blood splatter now looks like it's his earpiece flying off. It looks like some type of injection through like BBs or pellets that maybe went off in his neck, but I don't understand how they'd be able to hold the device still enough, because if you shot the force out, it's going to repel backwards. I'm still going to digest more videos. It looks to me like he got shot in the back of the head and that there was a decoy, several decoys allowing that shooter to get away. There is the guy we see on top of the rooftop in the background. I think potentially that might be a shooter. I'd have to look at the angles. At this point, I'm not exactly sure what piece of buildings he was on. He was seen running, I think, on 2 different buildings. And if Charlie gets shot in the back of the head, I'm not sure if those line up. I think the bush, that explanation, people have kind of gone through and seen that there's always bushes up there, and that it's not quite what it looks like when you see it from above. The flash in the window is still hard to explain.
if you guys please put some comments in, share this video, share with your friends. Let's get a chat going. We got a decent chat in the last video. Let's see if we can get even more here. Bounce your ideas around. And once again, take care of yourselves. Be safe. Stay strong. Eat right. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe. You guys have yourself an awesome day.